Hey, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday night Team Destiny Elite Team call. My name is Lynette Bledsoe, and, of course, I'll give you some time for you guys to do this. You know, in every about 5 minutes of every beginning of every call, we have that open opportunity section. So this is a time where you definitely want to invite people who are not in Avon, so give them the same phone number because in about less than a minute we're going to go ahead and play something for them so that they can get on your team. So give me a second to get that going. Hello, my name is Lynette Bledsoe, and I'm an independent sales representative with Avon. And I'd like to take the time out to first congratulate you to taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to a short presentation regarding this incredible opportunity in an amazing company. So let's get started.
My name is Gary Bledsoe, and I'm a motivational speaker, author, and independent sales rep with Avon Products. Lynette and I have been with Avon Products since 2008. Prior to that, I worked in several network marketing companies. My journey began in 1997. Lynette joined with me in 1999. We have achieved small successes while working in these companies and made somewhat good money. However, we were mostly struggling. And the best thing that Lynette and I did while working in these companies was we became great students, learning all that we could from our mentors. Now what we want to do is pass that knowledge on to you. I want to give you a brief overview of Avon. Avon has been in business for over 127 years and has survived several depressions and recessions. Avon is a company that helps you imagine a better future. It helps you improve your confidence. It helps you to control your life. And with Avon, you can be the best that you can be. You see, they provide the tools and the training to help you succeed and an opportunity for you to earn as much as you want.
Now, this company has millions of loyal customers and a community of over 6.5 million representatives worldwide. Avon provides hope and helps empower women and a few good men. So imagine making an extra $500 a month. What would you do with that? Would you pay bills? Would you go shopping like I would? This can be achieved with Avon. You can set your own hours and be your own boss. Now, Avon is the largest direct selling company in the United States with products that are all well-known brands. And there's two ways to make money with Avon. You can sell the products, or you can also build a team and make money in their leadership program. So when you recruit at least 5 people, you'll get promoted to a level that's called unit leader. The next level after that is advanced unit leader, and then you have executive unit leader, and the highest level in Avon is called senior executive unit leader, which we all strive to be. Now, the average income for a senior executive unit leader is over $100,000. So that's more than the average income for a nurse, more than the average income for a teacher, more than the average income for an administrative assistant. So with Avon, you also get recognized for all of your achievements, and you can win free trips to places such as Alaska, Hawaii, and even Spain.
So seize the opportunity. And guess what? To get started with Avon, it's only $10. What have you got to lose? It's only $10. What do most people spend with $10? 2 extra value meals at McDonald's or bus fare to and from work? Let's look at your options. Option 1, do nothing. Let this year go by the same way as last year went by, in which you are living paycheck to paycheck, having more than money. Option 2, get started. Invest $10 towards starting your home business. Take control of your hours, take control of your income, and take control of your life. You see, owning your own business and having financial freedom is the American dream. You owe it to yourself, to your family, to your future, to design the life that you've always wanted. Let this be the year in which you embrace change, step out of your comfort zone, and begin to live your dreams. So get with the person who invited you to this call, get all of your questions answered, and get started today. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back, guys. So, yes, if you're if you're a guest on the call, definitely get back with the person who invited you here. You're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the call. As you know, and if you're on Facebook, you see that we're talking about Network Marketing 101, different things that we've learned over the years after 16 years in network marketing. That's what we'll be going over today, so you're more than welcome to join us. So moving forward, I just wanted to make a couple of announcements. We have next Sunday, we have senior executive guest speakers, Maria and Kendall Clark. They're going to, I'm sorry about that. They're going to be sharing how they've built their successful Avon business, so you definitely want to make sure that you tune into that one. Also, the second Wednesday of every month, you guys know if you have any Spanish-speaking reps on your teams, you know that we have that Spanish only. Well, not Spanish only, anybody can join it, but we have Spanish-speaking motivational call, and we offer ideas with Senior Executive Milagros Garcia. You guys are more than welcome to invite your teams. If you don't speak Spanish, that's okay, and I'll post the information on the call page when I'm done. But you guys are more than welcome to invite anyone to that call. And we also have a group just for Spanish-speaking reps. It's called Vuele a su Destino. You probably don't, if you don't know Spanish, you don't know what I just said. I'll post a link to that group on the page as well, and we also have the same name as a website so that the Spanish-speaking reps can listen to the previous calls online also, so just in case the call time is not conducive for them. We also have an awesome upcoming speaker, and we actually guest speaker that's coming up. It's funny because if you've ever been on any of our calls, you probably heard me say that I used to sneak on the calls that Gary used to get on with his company and use those tips for my Avon business, and that's how our Avon business grew so fast. And we actually have the privilege. It took a lot of convincing. Well, not really, but it took so many years for some leaders when they're not in your company. Sometimes it's hard to get them into a conference call that's not conducive for them. Some people don't like to share outside of the company, and that's okay. But thankfully, our former upline that in the previous company that we used to be in, he actually has a book, and we actually asked him if he would mind being a guest speaker. Now, this person, his name is Brian Carruthers, and he's $1 million earner. He earns $1 million a year in his company, and he recently wrote a generic network marketing book. The minute he came out with it, I think it was back in January, the minute he came out with it, we knew he had to purchase it because something he was doing was working. He has close to 400,000 people on his team. So if you want to get with those millionaires, and you don't have to, I know some people are like, oh, they're leaving Avon. No, nobody's leaving Avon. We're here to stay. We're not going any. But what we've learned over the years and what has helped us in our business and what we've helped our team do is we've shown our team top leaders in network marketing. We've shown them different videos, different things so that they can think outside the box because, yeah, we can show them videos from Avon leaders. Yes, that's fine, but I want our Team Destiny, you guys are more than welcome to join us too. I want our Team Destiny team to think big and know that they can earn $1 million in this industry because it is possible. So initially when this call was put together, it was only going to be from Team Destiny. Each Team Destiny member, in order for them to get on this call, because he was taking time out of his schedule to do this for us, they needed to purchase the book. So, we explained to Brian that we actually do a national conference call for Avon reps and explained to see if that was okay so that we can open the call up to everyone. And initially didn't want to because, like I said, some people want to keep things for a team, which is fine. But we got him to say yes. On Friday he said yes. He didn't mind sharing with everyone. It's going to be a generic, nobody's talking about their company. It's going to be a generic network marketing call. Obviously he doesn't know the company, but he understands the industry. So we definitely have learned over the years everything, and we soak everything up from every top leader in network marketing, and we definitely know how to use it for our business. So that's what's worked for us. If you want to participate, that's fine. On Friday, we opened up the information on if you wanted to join that, because that's not going to be it probably won't be a Sunday night call. It's probably going to be a different day. We don't have the date set yet. Most of the people on our team purchase this book once it came out, because once we found out about it, we already told the team to get it. So their homework was to order that book if they haven't done so already. And by the end of the month, Brian's just going to totally close it out, while, from what you've read so far. So if you want to be in that call, you guys are more than welcome to do so. I think it's like $15, but if you get a and then plus shipping and handling, or $16 and then plus shipping and handling, you guys want to be on that call too. I'll post the information. We make no money off that book. Obviously, what would we get off of $16? But this is a call that he's hosting for our team, and it's open to anyone who wants to get involved with it also. So before we have something special on for you guys, Gary, I just wanted to share something.
I just want to, first of all, thank every single person out there who has supported us from the beginning, and to know that Lynette and I, all we want to do is provide motivation and inspiration, because, see, Lynette was sneaking on the calls, but I was actually communicating with Mr. Carruthers. I would talk to him. He would call me on my cell phone when I was a public safety officer at Nassau Community College, and I'd be running through, if you've ever been there, they have these old buildings in certain areas, and I would be sneaking inside the closets up there so I can speak to him. And basically what he kept telling me was he was motivating me. He was pushing me, because I was in his second generation, and he would push me, and he would provide motivation for me. And what I did was I learned from that. I learned to be the leader that he was. I mean, this guy is a recruiting machine. He recruited over 1,500 people in his 15 years in his network marketing company. That's 1,000 people a year. Most people don't even recruit 100. So I want to listen to, he makes a six-figure a month, what people make a six-figure a year, or don't even make six-figure a year. I remember one time when I was getting ready to leave, when I was deciding to leave the company, he had covered over $130,000 in that month. And I said, oh, my goodness, you don't think that this guy has something to share? See, one thing I learned throughout my entire years in network marketing and any type of thing, internet marketing, way when I was younger, before I even knew about business, things like that, I knew I wanted to be someone, and I wanted to be able to help other people be someone. I wanted to show people. I remember one time I had a New Year's resolution, and I remember sitting down with my girlfriend at the time, which wasn't Lynette, and her sister. And they said, okay, let's talk about the New Year's resolution. This is in the Bronx. And I said, my New Year's resolution, is to help more people. It's to be able to help more people believe and help more people. And they laughed at me. And, I grew up in the ghetto. They laughed at me. And I felt like, what did I say wrong? What did I say wrong? I was serious about it. And at that point, I had to realize, be very careful of who you share your information with, because some people don't see your vision, don't see what you're trying to do. They look at it in a different way. Well, not listening to them, I kept on doing it, and I kept on learning, and I kept on wanting to know. And one of the things that when I first got involved in network marketing, I did exactly what my mentor told me. He said, the more people you recruit on your team that go out and sell the products or sell the services, the more money you're going to make. So I went out there and I did what I had to do. Got awards. I got everything. I recruited. I was a recruiting machine. Before I ran into Mr. Carruthers, I was a recruiting machine, because I was like, I want the same type of success. I want to have, I want a true home-based business, not a part-time home-based business, a true home-based network marketing business in which I don't have to get up if I don't want to. I don't have to go anywhere if I don't want to. I don't have to do anything. I have choices. I have freedom. I have financial freedom. So I say, I'm going to do what they told me. But one of the things that as I went on, and I realized a lot of people that I was bringing my vision to, and I was trying to tell them to join my team, they didn't quite understand network marketing. So that they couldn't grab it. And in the past, they used to call it a pyramid scheme. They used to call it, you watch out for those get in and get sponsored and get two people. So I ran into a lot of resistance. See, now people say, which network marketing company are you in? But back then, when I first got started in the late 90s and learned about it in the early 90s, well, that wasn't accepted. People did not like it. They didn't accept it. So what did Gary do? Gary started researching for finding out ways. I was trying to find ways to be able to explain it to people, explain network marketing, so that they can understand exactly exactly why, to me and to Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Donald Trump, all these other, Bill Gates, why it is the perfect business. Why it's the perfect business model to take a person like me from the South Bronx, a person like Lynette from Brooklyn, and be able to go out there and pay a small investment and make a six-figure income on a yearly basis, and then possibly on a monthly basis. See, Mr. Carruthers, he doesn't need anybody's money. This is what I try to explain to everybody. He doesn't need anybody. This guy his family owns all, what is it, Prudential Lynette, of real estate in Maryland where he lives. I mean, he came from multi-millions already. But what he did was he wasn't able to help people the way he wanted to, so he chose network marketing as a vehicle. And if you've been on our past call, you heard with Robert Kiyosaki, we had played a call called The Perfect Business. And Robert Kiyosaki said he ran into a friend, and because he was negative towards network marketing. And he said he ran into this friend, and the friend was a multi-millionaire. And he said, why are you in a network marketing company? And he said, you don't need money. He said, because I can't help people effectively in the industry that I'm in. They can't afford the investments that I do. They can't afford this. So what I want to do is empower people financially, help families go out there and change their life for a small investment and be able to grow a six-figure, a seven-figure income per year. And that's exactly what I did. I went searching for trying to find ways to be able to explain to people why network marketing would work. And I ran into a gentleman, and I believe, I don't want to misrepresent this person's name or misrepresent him, but I believe that he was in Herbalife at the time. And I don't think that we should be ashamed to mention other companies, because we need to follow some of the things that they do and take that to Avon and take it to the max. There is no one here that I know of in Avon, all the leaders, that make what Brian Carruthers makes. And if he's willing to share that with us, how he did what he did, I'm listening. And if no one wants to listen, that's on them. I'm going to listen to a man that makes what I want to make every month, a six-figure income. Not a six-figure a year, a six-figure income per month. And that's why I follow people like Holton Buggs, who makes almost $2 million a month. I mean, in network marketing. I'm following these people because they got something that I want. So I wound up running into a gentleman by the name of Tim Sales. And he wrote I think it was a 90-minute presentation, a video. And if you probably already heard it, that's what I'm going to play tonight. It's not 90 minutes though, but it was a 90-minute presentation, and it was called Brilliant Compensation, in which he broke down the training. He broke down network marketing, and he explained it in a way that a guy from the South Bronx, that with my Bronx accent and growing up in the ghetto, in the hood, he explained it in a way where I would even understand it. And I couldn't believe. I said, wow, this is so awesome. This is unbelievable to understand why network marketing is one of the best vehicles out there. And he did some comparisons. And what he did was recently, I don't know how long ago, but he created an updated version because he thought that version was a little too long. I thought it was perfect. But he explained it, and he got a lot of his teaching from Robert Kiyosaki on those videos, on the Brilliant Compensation. He got a lot of his inspiration from Robert Kiyosaki, because Robert Kiyosaki explained, that's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, he explained that there are different types of income and the way people, their philosophy, their mindset chooses that income. If you are a type of person that you want to, you believe in, as far as an employee, you're an employee mindset. He said, as a business owner, I want everything done for myself. It's going to get done if I do it. So that's how, and self-employed. Then he talked about business owner, and he talked about investor. And Tim Sales explained the video about that leading into the Brilliant Compensation. And when I watched that, I said, this is exactly what people need to see if they truly don't understand how network marketing works. If they don't understand why it's so powerful to be in a network market. So if you're on this call and you're in Avon, and right now you're on a fence, you're sitting on the fence of whether or not you should jump the fence into leadership or stay on the other side where you just want to sell the product, I advise you. You are leaving money on the table. Make sure you jump and get into leadership right away. Well, I don't know what to do. Find someone that's in Avon. If I ask them, hey, how do I get into leadership? I want to get, because you are leaving money on the table if you're not building a network marketing business in the leadership program that Avon offers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this presentation, and once it's over, then I'll just summarize it. But this basically changed my life as far as understanding exactly how network marketing works. So here we go.
Hello, my name is Tim Sales. I'd like to first say that you're not going to see glitz here, so please don't expect it. I'm not an entertainer nor an actor. I've created this video as a tool designed to educate people about a business concept that works, for people who are willing to put 100% of themselves into something. See, it takes 200% to be successful in business. 100% must come from you. 100% must come from the business vehicle that you've chosen. Business vehicle meaning how you earn your living, how you support your family. I've seen people who relentlessly pour 100% of themselves into a business vehicle, profession, or job, but that vehicle doesn't have the capability to give back 100%. The mechanics of wealth are just not there. But no one has ever fully explained to you why it doesn't work and why it's a waste of your valuable time if your goal is financial success. This video is for the person who is willing to put in their 100%. They're only lacking the right business vehicle, the explanation of why it's right, and the evidence that it does in fact work. Even though I say you must put in 100%, that doesn't mean that you have to work it full time. I didn't. That doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your family time, nor does it mean you have to have prior experience. I didn't. What you'll learn right here has allowed me to build a $25 million company. Now, a $25 million company has certainly been done before. However, this was done where no employees were required. No accounts receivable, no accounts payable, no overhead, and very little inventory. Recently, I said those words to a business owner who said back to me, "Sounds too good to be true." My response back to him was, "Is that a good enough reason to stop looking?" He paused for a couple of seconds and he said, "That wouldn't be very smart, would it?" What I suggest you do is not just watch this information, but study it. What I want to do first is create an equal playing field between people who know how to evaluate a business and those who don't. Because me explaining this business wouldn't be very effective until you understand how to place value to a business. The simplest thing for someone to do when they don't understand something is to go, it doesn't work. The way I'll accomplish this equal playing field is to give you 4 main principles to look for in a business. Number 1 is a huge expanding market. If you were the best vinyl record producer in the world, would it matter today? No. It doesn't matter how good you are in an industry that's eroding. Number 2 is a unique and consumable product. I'll cover unique first. If you don't have a unique product, then you compete on price and convenience. Who has the best price? Who's closest to the customer? Yet if you have uniqueness, then people must come to you. Next is consumable. If you have a non-consumable product, you're basically unemployed until your next sell. You want the repeat sales of consumable products. Whether it's every time someone picks up the telephone, connects to the internet, renews a membership, turns on the electricity, or gets to the bottom of a box or a bottle, you want those repeating commissions because it can pay you again and again. Number 3 is timing. Primarily here I'm talking about trends in timing. During all cycles of the economy, there are people who are making money and losing money. The makers are the ones in front of large trends. The losers disregard trends. How do you get in front of large trends? You study what creates them. Without any hesitation, in today's society, it's the baby boom generation that creates the largest trends. The baby boomers are a group of babies born between 1946 and 1964. There were 76 million of them born in the United States, 1 billion of them worldwide. Why is this group so talked about? They're 1/3 of the U.S. population and control 65% of all the money. I've likened the magnitude of all those babies to a basketball moving through a garden hose. They reshape every industry they go through. See, if you can predict where this basketball is going down the garden hose, you possess the ability to make fortunes. I want to give you some historical examples of the obvious buying patterns of these boomers. It started with a company called Gerber back in 1940, who were barely known. But by 1955, just 10 years after the boomers were born, they had sold 1.8 billion jars of strained baby food. As the boomers took their first steps, it was Buster Brown and Kenny Shoes. When the boomers went out to play, Mattel and Hasbro got rich providing toys to this young group. In 1957, we built more elementary schools in the U.S. in 1 year just to handle the overflow than we did in any 12-year period before or after. As the boomers went through their teens, Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken became billion-dollar companies feeding the boomers. When the boomers moved through their 20s and 30s, which was in the mid-70s, what was the industry to be in? Real estate. Why? Because the boomers had heard from their parents one time too many, as long as you're living under my roof, you'll do as I say. So they wanted their own roof, which created a 15-year real estate boom. And people are still talking today about the great time frame to be in real estate. Then what happened to the real estate market in the late 80s? It began its decline. Why? The basketball had moved through the real estate industry. Another example of this is the U.S. stock market. Several years ago, I heard a stock market analyst speaking on the radio saying that he just couldn't believe the stock market had a 15-year rise. Notice the number 15 years keeps coming up. Anyone with a good understanding of the baby boomers could have seen this coming and profited from the recent stock market activity. Why does this 15-year number keep coming up? Because the baby boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. And so 18 years separates the front edge from the back edge. A very important number for you. If you look for trends on the front side of the basketball, you get the full 18 years for your products to be popular. That's the reason you study the nose of the basketball. So your business, no matter what your business is to be looking at what industries are expanding or which industries are about to expand. You shouldn't care how long you've been doing something or how long you've been in school to learn something. Are you in front of trends or not? Don't have a loyalty to something just because you've been educated in it or doing it for a long time. So looking at the current trends, we've basically got 1 billion people who are in their 50s and 60s. Since that's the case, what business do you want to be in? Let's look at some obvious current and future trends. Health and looking younger are going to be tremendous trends. The boomers do not like what aging is doing to them. So products that fend off aging as well as vanity issues will continue to boom. Businesses that focus on retirement issues will do very well. The crux of it will start with the boomers having enough money to retire. Businesses that offer ways to make money will obviously flourish. Legal matters such as wills and estate planning will become large trends. Efficiencies will also grow. The television was too far away from the couch for the boomers, so they invented the remote control device. Today, they have their entire library of books and music in their cell phones. The boomers have always been enamored with technologies that make life easier. These technologies will actually create industries. For example, the computer created the need for antivirus software. The internet has created a need for identity theft protection and firewalls. But there will be many additional industries created by the computer and internet technologies. It is the computer plus the internet that made the iPod, iPad, and iPhone possible. As a side note, the baby boomers are not the only trendsetters. They are just the largest and have most of the money. As the world becomes one, the international market will play a big role, as well as the group born just after the baby boomers that are known as Generation X. But remember, the boomers control 65% of all the money. So when a bright Generation X person creates a great new product or service, they must make it simple enough that a baby boomer can understand it. Otherwise, that product will not reach mass acceptance. Those are some of the big trends. So if you want to be brilliantly compensated, you must focus on industries and companies that have positioned themselves in front of these trends. All right, let's move forward. Number 4 is leverage. I'm going to spend some time on this one because we're not really taught this in our society. We're taught to go get a good education, build a resume, and exchange our expertise for someone's dollars. The problem with that is if we're not exchanging our expertise, we're not making any dollars. So vacation time is costly. A walk around the golf course, costly. Family time, although extremely important, is costly. I'll define the word leverage as an increased means by which to attain something. One form of leverage is investing $5 million and earning 10% interest, which will yield you about $41,000 a month in income. So whether you're enjoying family time or playing golf or vacationing, you're still enjoying $41,000 a month in income. You're leveraging off your money. That's a leverage everyone would love, but very few have it. Let me explain another kind of leverage that's available to everyone, including yourself. Incidentally, if you get nothing more out of this video than a better understanding of this little simple concept I'm going to explain, you'll have gained something very valuable for watching it. Imagine, if you will, you own a company. You employ just one person, me. I work for 8 hours on Monday. You work for the same 8 hours on Monday that I do. Now listen closely. You get paid on 16 hours worth of work because you take a portion of my productivity as income back to yourself. You're leveraging off my efforts because I'm your employee. So theoretically, the more employees you have working for you, the more leverage you have. However, have you ever had employees? If you have, you know that in theory, hiring employees sounds great, but it's very difficult to reach leverage through employees. I've heard it said that if you have one employee, you have one headache. If you have 100 employees, you run an adult daycare center. And the reason being is this: no employee will ever work as hard for your company as you will, because they don't own it. Here's my rule of thumb for reaching true leverage. If there's one sentence that epitomizes the entire video, it would be this: to have true leverage, you must create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain. Only then do you have true leverage. Let me give you an example of this type of leverage. Let's say that I'm a real estate broker, and I hire an agent named Robert. Robert goes out and sells a building. Robert earns a percentage of the selling price of the building, and so do I, the broker. Why do I, the broker, earn a percentage when it was Robert who sold the building? Well, I did some of the advertising. I trained Robert. I had the initiative to go get my broker's license in the first place. I put up the risk. I did a lot of things. And so it's valid that I, as the broker, earn my money. But Robert doesn't work for me as an employee. He's an independent contractor. He just hangs his real estate license on my wall. My point here is the broker and the agent have the same amount to gain from the sale of the home. It is totally in the agent's interest to earn more money, which is a form of leverage for the broker. There is a flaw in this leverage situation that I've shown you, and it's this: the broker can have multiple agents, but the agents cannot. The broker has leverage, the agents don't. Until the agents do what most brokers dread. What happens when I, the broker, have been real effective at teaching Robert to be a good agent? What's Robert going to want to do in a couple of years? Be his own broker, right? Is this good for me, the broker? No, because as soon as he becomes a broker, two bad things happen to me. Number one, he breaks away from me and I lose him as an income source. And two, worse than that, he's now my competitor that I trained. He knows all my good stuff. By the way, this doesn't just happen in the real estate industry. It happens in practically every industry. Have you ever heard the expression, "I'm just going to work there for experience"? What does that mean? It means I'm going to strip them of their knowledge and then go do it myself. If you're a business owner, how many people have you trained who are no longer working for you? How many people have you trained to be your competitors? Well, this gets worse. Let's say that Robert is now a broker right down the street. What will he do now that he's a broker? He'll go out and hire his own agents. And let's say one of those agents is Linda. Linda also eventually wants to be a broker. So she becomes a competitor to me that I indirectly trained, as well as Robert, who I directly trained. And this continues on and on. I actually created a chain of competitors that I trained. What if we did a whole paradigm shift? Here's where this becomes brilliant. Let's say instead I'm going to empower Robert to become a broker. I want him to become a broker from day one. See, the only way that you or I can retain a leader is provide him or her with the same opportunity for growth that we have. Hence, an opportunity where everyone has the same amount to gain. So from day one, I'm going to encourage Robert to be a broker. And when he does, he doesn't break away from me and become my competitor. He shifts from agent to broker, which now allows him to sponsor his own agents. Now, to create an incentive for me, the broker, to always help Robert and his agents, I'm still going to earn a percentage of what he and his agents sell. And shouldn't I? I trained him. I put up the risk and all those reasons I mentioned earlier. Now, the percentage I earn from Robert and his organization should be a lot smaller than when he was an agent, but I should still earn a percentage. That's my incentive to keep working with them. Now, some people look at this and say, gosh, isn't that one of those pyramids? And what's the perception of a pyramid? People at the top making all the money and the people down below do all the work, right? Isn't that the perception of a pyramid? Let me explain why this is not a pyramid and why people at the top don't necessarily make all the money. Let me just make a quick point before I discuss the pyramid issue. It's not the geometric shape that people have a problem with. This geometric shape is probably the shape of your family tree, the shape of our government. To the architect, it's the strongest structure known to man. Every organizational structure in the world is this shape. So the shape isn't the problem. However, that perception, people at the top earn all the money, let me illustrate that for you. Here's a typical corporation. At the top, you have a CEO, which stands for Chief Executive Officer. Does the president earn more money than the CEO? Not normally. How about below the president? Do any of the vice presidents earn more money than the president? No. Let me ask this question, and I want you to really think about it. What would happen if some of the vice presidents of a corporation made more money than the president? Really, what would happen? Talk about total confusion. This whole process is called delegation. Each level of the corporation earns less income. The reason the president can tell the vice president what to do is because they make more money. So the corporate structure is people at the top making the majority of the money, and the people at the bottom do not. The CEO of any corporation earns off the productivity of, or is leveraged off of, everyone in his or her corporation. Whether that CEO personally hired every employee or someone else in the company hires them. So the CEO, and only the CEO, earns on multiple levels of his or her company. And the model that I'm suggesting as being brilliant is where you, the individual, are given that same opportunity to earn on multiple levels of brokers and agents, just as the CEO of a corporation is. From here on, I'll refer to this form of marketing as network marketing. In network marketing, you, the individual, are given the opportunity to earn off the productivity of the people in your organization, whether you personally sponsor them or someone in your organization sponsors them. Remember that I said to reach true leverage, you must create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain. Well, that's what I just described. Here's what makes the network marketing structure the absolute fairest structure available. In most network marketing companies, everyone can earn a certain number of levels deep of the organization they build. Everyone in the company can earn that same number of levels deep, like maybe 4 levels deep or 6 levels deep. Let's say we use 4 levels. So if you build an organization to be more productive, then you would earn more money than I would, even if you were in my organization. In the example shown, you would earn on 3 levels I couldn't reach, because everyone gets the same number of levels. There are people in my organization right now that earn more money than I do. Do you know what I call that? Fair. Shouldn't it be that way? I mean, take any structure. Shouldn't the most productive person in that structure make the most money? Now I'd like to show you an interview that I did a few years ago with Dr. Charles King, who holds a PhD from Harvard and is a professor of marketing at the University of Illinois at Chicago, who actually teaches network marketing at the university. Dr. King, we're delighted to have you here.
I'm pleased to be here, Tim.
Dr. King, could you tell us a little of your education and your business background?
Tim, I'm a professor of marketing at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I got my bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Texas in Austin, spent a tour of duty with the Exxon Corporation, and then returned to get my doctorate in business administration from Harvard University. More important to this discussion, over the last 6 years, I've been involved in doing research, teaching, and consulting in network marketing.
So coming from such a conservative school, and I know you a little bit, and I know you to be very conservative, what caused you to look at network marketing to begin with?
In 1990, we had a major economic recession in the United States. The Midwest and Chicago particularly were very badly hit. As a result, the interviewers stopped coming to campus. We were graduating hundreds of students a semester, and they weren't getting jobs. Our alumni were coming back to us, losing their jobs, looking for help, and we had nothing to offer them. Now, I started looking, because of my background in business consulting, at alternative career paths. I went out and I looked at starting your own business, at home-based businesses. I looked at franchising. I looked at direct selling. And in the direct selling arena, I backed into network marketing. Now, I was very cynical, skeptical. Tim, I was negative about network marketing. They don't teach network marketing at the Harvard Business School, and I didn't know much about it. The end result was one of my students who was on the team asked me, "Why are you so negative about network marketing?" I looked at that young man and I said, "Son, I know enough to know I don't want to know any more." That student looked at me and he said, "Professor, if I gave you that answer to that question with no more information than you have, you would give me an F." I turned to him and I said, "Son, you're absolutely right. I have no basis for that conclusion. You just made an A." As a result, we went to the library, we went to meetings, and for the next 6 months, we did due diligence on the network marketing industry. I visited the top companies. I talked to network marketing leaders. I became an evangelist. In 1990-91, we started teaching network marketing in the marketing curriculum at the university.
Suppose you run across the super skeptic. What advice do you have for them?
Tim, I would recommend they do precisely what I did. I was a super skeptic. I did my due diligence, I investigated the industry, and I drew my own conclusions. I strongly recommend that you do your due diligence and then begin to define precisely what role you want to play in the network marketing industry. Set realistic expectations. If there's a single cause for failure in this industry, it's the get-rich-quick syndrome, thinking that you can come into the industry and make enormous sums of money with no work. I argue, by contrast, that if you set realistic expectations, you develop a plan of action to guide your business development, you can be successful.
And that's coming from a Harvard Business School graduate who was a true skeptic, but through due diligence, he learned the truth. Warren Buffett owns a network marketing company. If you don't know who he is, he's typically listed in the top 5 richest people in the world. He created his wealth by investing in and buying the highest quality companies. Why do you think Microsoft or AT&T, Gillette, Colgate, Citibank, IBM, Toyota, Xerox, Texas Instruments, General Motors, General Electric, AOL, Oracle, Sun Microsystems, Coca-Cola, and many others distribute some or all of their products and services through network marketing? They use this method to distribute products because network marketing is a very efficient model to distribute products and services. These large corporations are firm testimony to the industry's success and credibility. This confirms what Professor King was saying about that the industry has come of age and is now a true profession. The reason so many people are coming into network marketing is because people want control of their life. They want a quality of life, and network marketing truly offers that. I hear people all the time complaining that they are too busy or don't have enough time. People act as though time owns them instead of them owning time. Have you ever noticed that there are people who, with 24 hours, earn $10,000 a year, and there are people in the same 24 hours who earn $10 million a year? Let me explain the difference. I've heard people say this phrase, "It's easier to just do it myself than try to get other people to do it." Whenever I hear that phrase, I know that person just nailed their feet to the floor. All they can do is expend their time, not invest their time. Here's a secret. Wealth is hidden from those who must do it all themselves. Wealth exposes itself to those patient enough to train others. When you understand the power of educating and empowering others so that you get more done, you're truly on your way to wealth. Now, with that understanding of the importance of training others so you get more done, look at network marketing, and you'll see why I call it brilliant compensation. In network marketing, what you teach and train others to do is duplicate what you do, which is to find and train others. This is actually multiplying you. That's why I say next to your spiritual growth and your family, there is nothing in the world you can do that will reward you better than investing your time in network marketing. I'd like to cover one last thing in closing, which I feel is one of the most important points for you to fully understand the value of network marketing. Let me illustrate something to you that is so profound. What's the maximum number of hours you could work in a day? 24 hours, right? So if you didn't sleep all day, you could work 24 straight hours. What if you didn't sleep for a whole year? You could actually work 8,760 hours in 1 year. But that's the maximum number of hours you could work in a year. I have 56,000 people in my organization worldwide. Well, let's suppose that all 56,000 people work just 1 hour out of a year. 56,000 people times 1 hour each equals 56,000 hours of work that I'm being paid on. Well, for most people to earn on 56,000 hours of work, they'd have to work for over 6 years, 24 hours a day without sleep to put in the same amount of hours that I could in 1 hour a year. Let me throw in something really ridiculous. Suppose all my 56,000 people worked 1 8-hour day in a year. 56,000 people times 8 hours is 448,000 hours I'm being paid on. Well, it would take most people working over 51 years, 24 hours a day, to do what I could do in 8 hours a year. 8 hours in 1 year versus 51 years working 24 hours a day? Doesn't seem fair, does it? It's definitely not fair. What's not fair is that you haven't understood this until today, and other people have. But now that you understand it, take responsibility for it. Don't go running and try to create reasons why you can't do this. You can do this. I don't say any of this to impress you. I don't need to impress you. This is an educational-only video. My purpose in creating this tool is to contribute back to that woodpile that so generously gave to me. Because network marketing has given me a lifestyle I previously couldn't have imagined. And because network marketing has given me total financial and time freedom, I feel it my responsibility to explain the industry in an understandable way. So I say all of this only to impress upon you that the difference between the wealthy and everyone else is leverage. You've got to understand that. And nothing gives you, the individual, leverage in such an ethical way like network marketing can. So go get a pad of paper. Write down what you really want in life. Then call the person who gave you this video and tell them whether you're an A, B, or C. C is see you later. No thanks. That's fine with us because your relationship with the person who gave you this video is more important to us than anything. Or you're a B. A B is I may be. I want to first explore the product. If that's you, then do that. Don't procrastinate. The #1 killer of financial success is procrastination. People just putting it off until tomorrow, and they've somehow convinced themselves that they'll actually do it tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about. As soon as I'm done with this project, then I'll have more time. Or as soon as little Jimmy gets back to school, then I can, and they never do. If a person has an excuse, they have all they need to fail. Don't let that be you. Get your product today. Or you're an A, and that means absolutely. No, you don't have all your questions answered, but you see enough to start and begin your training. Very well done to you in your ability to make a decision. If it's late at night and you just watch this, don't be concerned that the person who gave this to you is sleeping right now. They'll be up. And if they're not, wake them up. Tell them, hey, now that I understand this thing, I can't sleep. And if I can't sleep, you're not going to sleep. Believe me, they'll appreciate that call. So call that person and tell them whether you're an A, B, or C. That's it. Join us. You'll be glad you did. Now is the right time, the smart time. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. I hope it's been educational to you. What I really hope is that you'll put this information to good use. Next, you'll see some common questions that you can interact with. I look forward to working with you, should our paths cross. I'm Tim Sales.
Now, everyone, that's exactly what I heard when I first got started in network marketing. Sometime after, when I went and did some due diligence, I decided to say, you know what, I want to know exactly what is this industry. You know, I remember Brian Carruthers said the other day in an interview that Lynette and I heard, and he said, when you get the network marketing bug, for some reason, you just can't get rid of it. That's why people wind up joining here, and they don't have success here. They're going to another company. But they usually, 9 times out of 10, never leave network marketing completely. Why? Because of leverage. Because of leverage. Leverage is so important. And I always say he or she who puts the most people on their team that's out there producing creates the most leverage. And that's something that I've always watched and I've always looked at. You know, growing up in the South Bronx and watching, and I hate to say this, and I hope nobody judges me after I say this, but watching the drug dealers and watching how they were making their money, knowing that they wasn't going to last because they would get caught, but I watched the ones that had the most people out there selling for them on the most corners were the ones who made the most money. And I said, wow, that's powerful. Do you know that McDonald's is the #1 seller of toys? Why? Because they have the most places, they have the most McDonald's out there. There's more McDonald's than Toys R Us. Do you know that they're the highest chicken sellers out there instead of KFC? Why? Because there's more McDonald's out there. See, real estate was very important to McDonald's. And, you know, I remember, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I remember if you really drive down, you always see McDonald's like on the right side of a highway most of the time. And why is that? I don't know if they changed that. Why? Because they knew that when people are driving and are looking for this, they can go over here or go over there. You know, Ray Kroc was a genius when he decided to go to the McDonald's brothers and say, hey, I want to take this, I want to duplicate it, and then what I want to do is I want to franchise it, and I want to have people pay me a fee for each burger that's sold. And look at how many burgers are sold. His family is financially set. So what we need to do is we need to understand that there are people, that baby boomers and the non-baby boomers, the Generation X, that are a need of skincare and a need of beauty products, of makeup, lipstick, things like that. They want to smell good with the perfumes and the cologne. And that's why we need to get out there and give it to them. But understand that we can only give them but so much in our capacity, because we can only work about, 16 hours a day. We have to find some time to sleep and rest. But what we can do is we can recruit an army. We can recruit an army of people that are out there doing the exact same thing that we are doing. They're out there giving people lipstick. They're out there giving people skincare. They're out there giving people makeup and making them feel young and making them feel beautiful and making them feel good. And they can go and do that and leverage their income so that when those people, and that army's out there selling, they're making money. The army's making money. You're making money. Everybody's making money. We need to truly, truly take true advantage of this opportunity, of this industry. We need to really, really, truly understand it. Now, Tim Sales stated that he had 56,000 on his team. When at the time when he made this video, 56,000 people in his downline. Imagine us. See, we in Avon need to stretch our vision. We need to stretch the capacity. See, I always say, and I don't want to say anything to anybody, but I believe that the leaders that in this industry, like us and the other leaders that are out there following following and leading what we are doing, because we're following them, they're stretching their team's vision. They're stretching their belief. They're telling them, listen, you don't just got to have 2,000 people. You don't just got to have 4,000 people. You can have 40,000 if you work at it and you teach them. You can have 400,000. That's why Lynette and I always talk in big numbers. That's why we always saying that we want to have 10,000 people on our team, because we understand that he and she who has the most people. See, if we get 10,000 people out there working 1 hour per day selling Avon products, that's 10,000 hours that are being produced. That's 10,000 hours of production that's being produced. And that's what we want. That's pure leverage. See, the CEO at your company that you work for, or the company that you used to work for, that's what he has going on for him. He's getting leverage. See, you know what really turned me on to this video? What really turned me on and what really stuck in my head is because I remember that when I was working as a correction officer in Rikers Island, and I used to watch the other officers, and I'm not knocking any other officers, but I used to watch them. And I watched some officers sleep during while the inmates were running around. They were locked behind a gate. I watched some officers play cards. I watched some officers procrastinate, take their time coming back from break. I watched a lot of people. And I remember, then I watched some officers, they do the right thing. They knew how to write a report. They knew how to give the inmates what they needed at the time. They were very professional. They would buy the book. And I said, guess what's going to happen in 2 weeks when we all get our paycheck? That person is going to make the same amount of money as that person if they both came in at the same time and they started together. Not taking into the fact of that the one person been there longer. I'm saying they both started in the same class, same time, same date, everything. If that person who slept is going to make the exact same money as the person who didn't sleep, he's going to make the exact same money. And that's what got me. I said, wait a minute. If I worked harder than that person that's doing my same job, why shouldn't I get paid better than him? Why shouldn't I get paid more than him? Why shouldn't I have more than him? Why shouldn't that happen? That's the same thing with a person that works out in the gym. A person that may be a little overweight can't get mad at that person for having a nicer body or having being more healthy, because they paid the price. It wasn't easy to get it. They paid the price. So that's why we need to learn and understand that we need to have that leverage. We need to have, it's so funny that Lynette and I, when we send these calls to you and we provide these calls, we want to provide you with motivation. We're not telling you that we did it. We're telling you that it can be done because we've witnessed people that have done it, and we can do the exact same thing. We can take that knowledge. We can take that passion over to Avon, and we can create a dynasty. We can build an empire here. We just got to learn how to stretch our belief. Don't pay attention to anything that's going on. I remember Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, said, you got to learn how to not have anything that is not in your plan of what you want distract you. You got to stay focused. You got to have a definition of purpose. You got to know exactly what you need to do. And in network marketing, we need to learn how to have an army. We need to learn how to go out there and expose everybody. We need to know that the fortune is in the follow-up, and we need to work with only the willing, the ones that want it. See, that is what we need to understand. And we can't worry about, if I join her team, she's going to make more money than me. If you think that that's true, why don't you try to get in touch with Vondell McKenzie, who has Dan Mundy, the second highest income earner on her organization. He's her senior. He's her senior. He makes more than she do. You think she cares? No, because Avon still pays her well off of his business, but guess what? He makes more because there's some generations that she can't see. When I heard that, I said, wow, that is so true. If I get, think about this. If I'm a worker, then they have supervisors and middle management, and then it's the junior CEO and then the CEO. I can't ever make more money than them unless I go up there and kill some people and start moving my way up that way. That's the only way I can do it. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki said it one time. He said, Rich Dad told him that the only thing about climbing the corporate ladder is if you keep looking up, there's this big butt in front of you, and you have to wait till that butt falls in order for you to climb the corporate ladder. Well, in network marketing, you don't have to worry about that. See, you can come. There are people right now, I'm going to tell you right now, that have not been recruited in Avon yet that are going to be some of the highest income earners yet. They're going to be. So what we need to do is we need to position ourselves and hope that we can find them before someone else does. So we need to understand that. That's what the beauty of network marketing. People are going to quit. People are going to leave. People are going to disappoint you. People are going to get mad. They're going to blame this. They're going to blame that. They're going to blame everything. Your job is to know, I'm going to stay here long enough. I'm going to work my butt off hard enough to make it work. I'm going to do everything I have to do. And that, like I said, we're not telling you that we've done it because we're in the process still. We're just telling you that it can be done, that we need to stretch our vision. See, in the companies that I was with, and in the beginning when I was learning my first network marketing journey, I was listening. I was watching. I was learning. I was trying to figure out exactly how can I maximize and I can capitalize on all of this knowledge so that I can do it also because I want that leverage. And I did exactly what they said. If my leader walked fast, I walked fast. If my leader walked slow, I walked slow. If he said, make sure you expose these people over here, I exposed those people over there. If he said, follow up with these people over here, I followed up because I wanted the lifestyle that they have, especially if I can get it for a $10 entry fee, a $10 investment, a $10 payment. If I can get it, I'm going to go do it. So I tell everybody out there that's listening on this call, don't ever give up on your dreams. Don't ever give up on your goals. Don't ever give up when people, when people don't believe you. I had family members that laughed at me. You're not going to make no money. I had someone sit down with me as a correction officer face to face and said, you're never going to make money in network marketing. You're never going to ever be able to work from home full time in network marketing. If you leave corrections, which I did, you are not going to make it. See, I don't think he was right. I think he was completely wrong. So that's what I tell everybody. Stretch your vision. Believe. Know that you can do it. Go out there and recruit. You know, it's so funny what Mr. Carruthers said on that same interview that I listened to. He said so many people get focused on, he said so many people get afraid of recruiting because they feel like if everybody's recruiting, who's selling products? How is the products getting sold? He said, I've always focused on recruiting, 100%. Because I know that when I have an army of people that are out there, an army of recruits, that are more products are going to be sold on my team than they are going to be sold by an individual. So he said people need to understand that if you want to be a true leader, never be forgiving. Never be worried about what people say if you always focus on recruiting. And that's something that Lynette and I always focus on. We are always going to talk about if you want to have a lifestyle in which you can choose whatever car you want, what luxury car you want. You can choose where you want to go. You can choose what you want to see. You can choose the type of shoes you wear. You can choose the clothes. You can choose the furniture. You can choose whatever choice, the choices. If you want that type of lifestyle, the only way that that's going to be achieved in Avon, the only way that that's going to be achieved in Avon is for you to recruit an army of people. I don't want to just recruit an army. I want to recruit a continent. I want to recruit a whole hemisphere of people that are out there selling Avon products, because I know when that happens, I have created leverage. I have took the network marketing model to the 100, 10,000, 20,000, millionth power in which I have maximized and capitalized on everything, and now I'm reaping the rewards. So with that being said, please, everybody, make sure you join us next week so we can hear from the Crunks, and make sure if you haven't, get a sign. I love their signs. They're awesome signs. I mean, they're a lot cheaper than the standard Avon signs. Make sure you get them. And like I said, when I say these things, I make no financial gain off of it. I just know what it's done for us, and we just share with you what it has done for us. So I want to just thank everybody once again for all the continued support, knowing that Lynette and I could keep this stuff to ourselves. Like when Mr. Carruthers said, I'd rather just do it for just your team. And I said, please, we talk to, a lot of people, sometimes over 200 people every week, and I would love to share the knowledge that you taught me. And he said, okay, you know what? You're a good friend of mine. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I said, thank you so much. A millionaire is willing to share with you what he's done when he usually doesn't do that. So let's take advantage of that. We don't know the exact time, but take advantage of it. Let's learn from these people. Let's stop listening to people who make what I call a 3-figure income per month, or 4-figure income. There are people in Avon that makes 4-figure incomes per month. I'm going to listen to them, and people are listening to them instead of listening to the ones that make a 6-figure income per month. I'm listening to that. And the Holdenbugs who make a 7-figure income per month. I'm going to listen to them first. I'm going to follow out what I'm going to Holdenbugs talk about personal development. Brian Carruthers talks about personal development. I'm going to listen to them. They study CDs. They study DVD. They study things, books. I'm listening to them first. And you got to choose, who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to success, or are you going to listen to people who are not there yet, people who are nowhere near there yet? I'm going to listen to success, because I always believed, especially when I grew up in the Bronx, I knew that when it was a snowstorm, I was going to follow the path that was already made, because I hated walking in the path and creating it myself. So with that being said, everyone have a great night. Please follow success, duplicate success, leverage, and give value to everybody. Give value to everybody. Thank you so much. When we unmute the line, please say that you can say whatever you want. Have a great night, brilliant conversation. I'm going to make it. I'm getting 10,000, whatever you want to say. Thank you so much. Just give us a minute.
Thank you, Gary and Lynette.
Thank you.
Thank you.